Hi there everyone and welcome back to my garden. So today I'm going to be working in the little space at the back of my house where I've created a white garden this year. And this video is going to be the second video in a series of three where I address three different areas of my garden. This was the first area here. This is the front of my garage. I'll put a picture up of what it looked like the other day. And this is what it looks like now. So you can see I've thinned all the plants out and I've sort of clustered them together in little sort of vignettes there. And then I've got some fairy lights in that tree. So I feel I've accomplished what I wanted in the at the top of the drive. It's nice and tidy. I think it looks pretty and it looks very festive when the tree lights are on. But I wanted to start the videos off here because I wanted you to see how sunny it is here. This is south facing. And you'll see when we go through this gate here into my little courtyard and then out into the little back garden, it's really quite deep shade. So it's very easy to think, oh, this looks lovely in the winter here when the sun's shining and the plants are looking at their best. But I want to show you an area which is looking, I think bleak is the word. It looks stark and bleak through there. But I want to do the same thing. I want to cluster what green foliage I have left over from this area, which is all stored in this courtyard area here. And I'm going to use that to dress the little sort of plant area outside my conservatory in the white garden. So I'll take you through. So I'll put the link to the video where I do the top of the garage. This is the courtyard area where I stuffed all of the plants and plant stands. So this is what this courtyard looks like throughout the year. And then this is what it looks like now. So quite a challenge there, but I'm sure I can do something with it. But yes, there's nothing here to lift the spirits, is there? So then we come through this area to the back of my house. So this is the area that I'm going to be working on today. I'm just going to apply the same sort of strategy as I did to the front of the garage there. So take the plants out, the containers out, give it a sweep down, and then start building up a little display of green foliage. And you'll notice that I put the plants on plant stands because I sit in the conservatory here, and I'll show you what you can see from within the conservatory. Right, so if these two green shrubs were down on ground level rather than raised up, when I'm sitting here on the sofa, I wouldn't see them at all. So what I want to do is I want to get more green foliage and just have it running along here. So I'm just going to work with what I've got because I don't want to buy lots more winter flowering shrubs and things like that because I've got lots and lots of plants. I don't want to be stockpiling yet more big tubs with shrubs in. So I've got some grasses, I've got Nandina. That is a New Zealand satin flower. He's very hardy, I know that. All of these shrubs are evergreen and they are hardy here in the northeast of England. More Nandina, some nice big box there. I've got some heucheras. Surprisingly, I've got, this is my washing line here. Surprisingly, I've still got some ferns. So I'm just going to be using a lot of this foliage, keeping in mind that I do need to keep some to dress this area. And the thing to remember when you're dressing areas in the winter and you haven't got the flowers and the colour to depend on, you're working with different shades of green, is that you don't need a huge expanse of foliage to make something look good. What I would advise is, if you've only got one or two or hopefully three little shrubs, to cluster them together. That gives more impact, just as I did at the front of the garage there. So that used to be a full display. This is what it looked like in the spring at the front of the garage. So you can see right along the front and quite deep, I had lots of colour, lots of flowers and that. But in the winter, if I'd tried to just use green foliage, the amount of green foliage I have, I think it would have looked quite sparse. And that's why I've sort of clustered the plants together in two areas there. When I'm dressing areas like this, it's always a very organic process. I just sort of play around with the plants until I'm happy with them. I should have my gloves on, it's freezing. So right, I'm just going to get started and we'll see how it goes. So I'll just give the windowsill a clean down. So I'll put the plants in front of them. Gosh, everything's frozen. The water in my watering can is solid. It's very deceiving when you're standing out in the front garden there. You think in the sunshine, you can't believe how cold it is. Right. So I'll give him a clean. I got these little tables just at a charity shop or Goodwill, whatever you have in your area, whatever they call them. I think I paid £10 for the pair of them. And I used to have them in my conservatory, but I thought, you know, for £10 they're perfect. Just stand here. So I'll leave a gap so I can get to my water, but not because plants need watering this time of year, but if it's rained, I like to empty it out because otherwise the water freezes and it can burst the water butt. Right, so I haven't got much room, so I'm just sort of working along. I'll clean the area and then I'll put the plants in situ. Things like this little rhododendron is in a beautiful pot here, ceramic pot. I wouldn't put him up there because my garden's incredibly windy, and if he got blown over, the pot would smash. I'll put a plastic pot up there. I don't know what this plant is. He's so pretty, isn't he? Right, let's chit chat, get on with it. And then when I'm finished in this area and that's all dressed, whatever is left over, I'll pop that into the courtyard area. And that'll be the last area that I do. This has proved invaluable. It's just a little bench that we bought for my two oldest grandchildren. We bought it about 12 years ago. And I didn't want to get rid of it. Right, so whilst I've been sweeping up there, I've been having a think about a lot of these acers through here in the courtyard area. So you might see me placing a dormant acer with just twigs in this area and think, well, why is she doing that? And my thinking there is that I've got power in the garage and I'm going to get another set of fairy lights, the little LED warm glow lights, and take the wire from the garage, and then just as I did at the top of the drive in that crabapple tree, I'm going to trail fairy lights along the top of the foliage. And I'm thinking that the acer twigs, these will look very pretty with twinkle lights in, just until, you know, after the Christmas season. Then I'll take the twinkle lights back out, but I think that'll look very pretty from within the house. So that's my thinking. Right, I've just collected together a group of plants that I think look good and that I may use in this area. Right, so this is where I start playing around. So I'm going to put that acer there. I'll dress the top with some nice Cotswold stone. I think I'll put him up there because he won't obstruct my view from the conservatory, but he will look nice with the twinkle lights in. Right, what next? I think I'll use some of these Nandina. They can go up there. So if I put him there and him in front in a nice red pot, that looks nice and Christmassy, doesn't it? Yeah. Make sure he's nicely balanced on the table there. And then another Nandina here. And then that's a lovely box. Now he is in a beautiful terracotta pot. I've got quite a few of these little box. I bought them in one of those 6-pack modules years ago, and the rest of them I didn't transplant this year, but I upgraded his pot and he has trebled in size compared to the others, so they are languishing in the garage at the moment, forming new roots. But I think that looks pretty. And then I'll put this. This is incredibly heavy. I don't understand why. Right. See which position he's going to look best in. The seat sort of angles down at the back, so I think I'll get a bit of crock and wedge that up so he's nice and straight. I'll just go and get that. Right, I've just got a bit of a broken rim of a terracotta pot there, and I'm going to wedge that underneath so that straightens him up. Yeah, that looks better. Right, any plants that I'm going to keep on the bottom, I will put up on plant stands like that so that water can drain away, because it's not usually the cold that kills your plants, it's the cold and the wet. Actually, he could do with being raised up a little bit more. Put him on there. Oh, I know what I've got. I've got one of these wooden trolley things with wheels on the bottom. That'll just give a little bit more height to him. Right, turn him around. So these two shrubs have lived here all year, so they obviously like it here. Move this along a bit. Let a bit of air flow through. Just keep standing back and having a look. Yeah, I think that's going to look really nice from inside the conservatory. And I know this is the white garden, but I'm grateful for any colour and foliage I can get. So this is a beautiful hydrangea, the darkest purple, and the leaves are dry and crispy now, but they've kept some colour, and I'll keep them on until late spring, because this is a mophead hydrangea. So can you see the new buds coming out there? Well, that's where the new flowers will come out, and if you leave the dead foliage on the top, it protects that new leaf and bud from any frost. But I'm thinking wedge him in there. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Wedge him in like that. And when I'm finished, I actually have to go and buy them. I'll go and get some more of those fairy lights, and I'll take a bit more footage tonight when all the fairy lights are out. Right, now I did bring this beautiful grass through, but I'm not sure whether I need him. You know, I'd rather just keep the bottom all free. But what I do think I will use is this lovely Acer. He weighs a ton in a nice black pot, and I'm thinking I could just bookend the height there, that Acer with this Acer. So that's quite a tall stand. I'll put that there, and then I'll stand this Acer on there. Oh, it's bend at the knees. There we go. Now, he will catch my coat as I come through into the white garden. But having said that, I'm not going to be walking out here very often. It's not like the summer. I'll be sort of viewing the garden and how it's progressing from inside the conservatory. So which way shall I put him? I think I might do it that way. Oh, it's so easy to sort of dismiss these little branches here when they're back there like that. But actually each one of these will have a lovely acer leaf on the end. I don't want it to get snapped off. My gut feeling is that it should be that way. Actually, he's sort of wanting to face that way, isn't it? I'll pull this along a bit. There, I think that's better. I'm happier with that. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Yes, and then what about him there? Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? And the grass won't mind me walking past. I'm not going to snap the grasses, but again, I'm going to put this up on a plant stand. Like that. And then I've got this little one in a pot, which I'm a bit concerned about. I think I might just stand him there. Or actually, you know, I might stand him at the front of the garage. Let's have a look. Yes, I think he just looks too small and out of proportion to the rest of the plants there. I did bring some nemesia through, but you know, I don't think I need it. I think less is more. So I don't think I'm going to need these ones. And I'm going to take that and put it at the front of the garage. Shall we go inside the conservatory and see what that looks like from the inside? Right, so here I am sitting on my sofa having my coffee, and that's what I can see now. So I've got some, you've got to imagine this with twinkle lights. I will take some footage tonight when I get the twinkle lights, but I've got a nice bit of spiky height up there from that acer. The tripod's going to be gone, obviously. And then I've got all this lovely foliage here. Try and keep it down at windowsill level. And then you see what I mean. I'm going to get the bonus of having that those acer twigs dressed in fairy lights as well. So I think that works. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Right, so I'll show you the dressing of the fairy lights tonight, but I thought I'd better say goodbye now whilst we've still got some daylight and you can see me. So I'm very pleased with it. It's like another area that's sorted out for the winter now. And I'm really enjoying doing these little areas because it's giving me the opportunity to see what plants I've got, which plants need a bit more protection. And I hope you agree that less is more. I could put all of my little plants like these. I've got cyclamen and things like that, but they're not looking at their best. And when you've got small areas like this, personally, I think it's best to just put the foliage that you think is beautiful at the time, and anything that looks a bit sickly or that is going really dormant and doesn't look good, I would try and just move those to another area of the garden. So for instance, if I was to show you down the side of the car that's parked on the drive, that is full of dormant plants in pots, but they don't look good. I don't want to see them. So I just hide them down there, and it actually, the card does give them some protection from that freezing cold wind that comes in off the fields. Right, so I will say goodbye and thank you very much as always for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time where I will be dressing the courtyard.